So this is a defense of King's Row where David's playing Winston, Melissa's playing Sigma, I'm playing Mei, Ben is Zenyatta, Juan is Moira, and our random player is Ash. Whenever we start a round, we want to be thinking about what our win condition is. And that usually relates to who the DPS players are. So to win, our Ash needs to get picks. For Mei, the main win condition for Mei is to use the wall to separate an enemy player from the rest of their team, and then we have really good focus fire and kill that player. So if we're playing this wall and we're setting up here as a Mei-based defense, we can allow the enemy team, if they come from this direction, we try to wall someone off, separate them, kill them. If they come in this direction, try to wall someone off, separate them, and kill them. And even if they get through those two choke points, we can retreat a little bit, play here, and again, look for a wall on the points, separate someone, and kill them. So that would be the win condition for Mei. The other thing we want to think about is who is our main tank and who is our off tank. And since most of the players on the team are not mobile, our main tank would be Sigma, our off tank would be Winston. So the main tank's main job is to hold the front line. The off tank's job is to help the main tank on the front line. And also, the off tank always wants to be in a position to help and protect the healers. So, as an off tank, you want to be asking yourself, am I close enough to protect the healers if they're in trouble? So, as we start this fight, it's not a bad idea for David to hold the choke like this as Winston, because one, he can try to build up his ultimate. And when you're a tank, if you can safely, I stress, if you can safely take damage, then that does allow our healers to build up their ultimates. So David does a good job of playing safely on this choke, where even once he gets down to about half health, he does, by playing the choke, he hasn't been able to build up very much of his ultimate, and he's allowed the Roadhog by shooting him to build up 24% of his ultimate. But David plays safely and retreats back to the healers, and that allows our healers to build up their ultimates. So that is a good thing to do if you can do it safely. Unfortunately, their Reaper kills our Ash here. So David's at half health. He does a good job of coming back to the healers. The healers start to heal him. Now, before David's even fully healed, he decides to engage the Reaper. Now, this is bad on many levels. One is if you're an off tank, and this is not something we talked about before this fight. But in the future, if you're off tank, you don't want to be leaving the main tank, and you don't want to be leaving the healers. And the other really bad thing is before this fight starts, the Reaper has 16% of his ults. David engages the Reaper, recognizes that he's in trouble, so he does a good job of immediately disengaging. But he's allowed the Reaper to double his ultimate up to 33%. Just in that 1 second, he went from 16% to 33%. So David does get back to the team. He's able to get healed back up. Now at this point, we have a Reaper flanking. We have a Hog coming in this direction. The rest of the team is playing in this direction. We want to be playing this wall where the front line is here. So we have the Sigma and the Winston playing the front line, the DPS playing in the middle, and then our two healers here in the back line. And that makes it so that, because as the main tank wants to be concerned with the front line, the healers want to be concerned with the back line and any potential flankers. So the healers should be tracking the flankers. So this Reaper's coming in this direction. So if you're a healer, you want to position yourself so you're as far away as possible from any potential flank routes. And so here, Ben has a really good sight line to do damage. But that should not be your main concern as a healer. Your main concern should be staying alive. So we should have our main tank here, and then DPS, then healers in the back where they can be safe. So David gets hooked. I'm able to use the wall. I'm lucky enough to protect him from the Roadhog. So at this point, the Reaper's engaging. So we have a Reaper coming in this direction. Melissa and Juan are the first to notice. They do a good job of noticing the threats. I'm the slowest to notice the threats. So we have the Reaper coming in this direction, the Roadhog, McCree in this direction. The rest of the team are fighting in this direction. So unfortunately, our tanks are here and here. Juan does a good job of being in the back line. I'm too far forward, and then Ben's in a bad position. So our bad positioning allows the Reaper to come in. The Reaper and the McCree are able to kill Ben. So at this point, when the kill happens, David's over here, and our tanks aren't on the front line. I'm too slow to react. Juan has good positioning, but because of our bad positioning, they're able to get a kill. And then there McCree has a free sideline and then kills Juan, and so now it's 3 versus 6, and we have no way to win this fight.